motivation will come and go. The passion that Clark leads with is something that has helped me at times. First thing I want to talk about is what Clark just said about motivation and how it's BS. And then the second thing I want to talk about is boundaries, more commitment, more desire to get there.
And I'm harder on my guys, and I think you have a wider audience, and maybe you feel like a little less comfortable getting as aggressive as you might be otherwise, because I deal with men over 50 exclusively. I have no women in my group. I have nothing. So these guys can take it. Yeah. They want it. They're like, I'm ready to change. And, we're on this mission. Point. Yeah, we're on this mission. You got to kind of be a little bit lighter.
Your thing is, if all my people were like Bobo or Steve Pack and these kind of guys, or Jeremy, then I could be much harsher because I know they can handle it. But I got such a bigger demographic that I think there's times that I gotta.
Exactly. You're a little bit more politically correct or light on them because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Me, on the other hand, I don't care. So,
but I
don't care.
Let's talk about two things today for everybody that's at home watching this. The first thing I want to talk about is what Clark just said about motivation and how it's BS. And then the second thing I want to talk about is boundaries. Clark said something today that we're going to come back to after motivation. And he made a great point. I got a DM yesterday, and somebody said, "Hey, you unfollowed me," and I said, "Or your team unfollowed me," and I said, "No, that was me. I unfollowed you." And he was very upset about this, and it was funny because the stuff he was posting just wasn't something I liked. It wasn't comfortable for me, and I actually don't want any kids and stuff to see it, so it wasn't appropriate for my boundaries. And you put it in an articulate way, because I said boundaries right now, but that wasn't my take on it. I didn't like it, and so I unfollowed. But Clark made a great point about saying, don't tell me what my boundaries are. So I do want to go back to this, but motivation, BS.
Yeah. So many people will reach out to us and ask us, hey, how do you stay motivated? And I instantly thought of you when I was thinking about this thing, because it's not motivation that gets you up at 3:30 a.m. since you were 12 years old or younger. It's not motivation that has you eating the same meal over and over again. It's not motivation that pushes you in the weight room. It's your commitment to the lifestyle. And I think now, even more than ever, at the age that you're at, with the understanding of the value that you bring to the world, that even makes that commitment more special to you, because you realize now this is not dependent upon motivation. Because if you relied on that, I mean, you're not the most motivated guy in the world. I mean, you don't wake up every day like, hey, this is a great day, and it's a choice, and maybe you choose to motivate yourself somehow, but it's not the first thing, I don't think.
I agree with you. I don't think it's motivation. I think it's passion.
Yeah.
And I believe this. And so when you get a taste of, for yourself, success or something good, first cover, first article, first contest you win, when you get that taste and then you start going, wow, okay, then I'm going to keep going down this positive road for yourself, and something else happens. It's like, and let's take me out of the equation, because that's a little too simple, I think. I think we're going to be announcing who won the Titan Challenge 2 today.
Oh, wow.
And this individual did something, and this, I know you love more than anything, is when you start something, you have 100 million questions. And all those questions, technically, if you just are patient and do the process, will be answered by yourself in time. And you can't technically comprehend any of it if you ask it up front.
Yeah.
So it's almost like me having the kid. I had no idea.
Right.
And you guys all tried to tell me. I'm like, dude, I'm good. I got my dog. I'm good. Now that I'm on that side of the fence, light dawns on Marblehead.
Yeah.
I get it. So it's the same kind of thing where this champion who just won the Titan Challenge 2 goes, I dropped 60 pounds in 11 weeks.
Wow.
I completely changed. But you know what changed the most? The mindset. And so she got a taste of something. She goes, it's amazing that I started, and a couple weeks in, this happened for me. And then a couple weeks later, I got a job that I wanted. And then a couple weeks later, I got a raise that I wanted. And then this continuous pattern of good things
Wow.
kept happening. And I think it's Tony Robbins, as you guys know, is he always talks about when you start going down that positive road, more positive things happen.
Yeah.
Now, be careful, because you start going down the negative road, more negative things happen.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just, so I
So
think,
what made this girl win this?
What made
Motivation
it-
or commitment? You know what
yeah,
I mean?
it wasn't the motivation. It was the change of the mindset of what she was, how she was living.
Yeah. So she committed to the process and just followed your advice and your guidance and the plan, and it's a woman.
And so, you know what? Both Titan Challenge 1 and 2, even though I have a 90% demographic of men joining, it's the women that have won last year and won this year.
Mm.
So I think it goes back to that commitment, more desire to get there.
Yeah. Mona's the meanest out of all of us.
Okay, we're agreeing that Mona is definitely the. I won't say that to her though, but yeah, you're right.
Aaron said it, not us.
Yeah, we're gonna put that right up the top. Jeffrey, you got that?
Yeah.
That's so true though. So we're just talking about motivation or commitment. What's better? Because motivation comes and goes.
Yes.
Let's talk about you for a second.
Okay.
Because to everybody here, you are completely motivated. Stay with me. And that's what got you lifting until your mid-50s. And I'm going to say that's not even close, because there's times where I'll call you and say, hey, I need a kick in the ass. And there's times that you call me saying, hey, I need a kick in the ass. And so like the 30-day blitz was one of those times where you're like, I need to get in better shape. All right, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And so it was the push that did it. And then you started the plan. You stayed to the plan.
And then something starts to take over. When you get in that groove and you find it. So maybe motivation gets you a couple days in. So you go from thing to thing, right? You grab onto the next thing that's going to get you to the next thing. So I think too many people hang their hat on one. That's why I have my 5 lifestyle principles, starting with mindset. Because no one thing gets you to where you want to go. Like you can't just eat a certain way and get in the shape that you want. You can't just train a certain way and get to where you want. You can't just take a supplement and think that's going to be the end all be all. You have to, and you know, you got to apply different things consistently, and all of those things collectively will bring you to where you want to get overall. So mindset, meals, movement, community, and supplementation are mine. And that's what I teach my guys every single day.
That should be all of yours. I know that's Clark's, but that should be everybody's.
Yeah.
Because it is the mindset. Because I see people come in and they're like, all right, I'm ready to get going. Show me where that link is. And Jeffrey and I talked about that yesterday. I ignore them
Yep.
because they couldn't even look for 2 seconds to find out where the link is or the program is.
Well, I have guys on my page that will message me from the page that has all the information on a DM and say, hey, how do I start this program? I'm like, time out. Did you watch the video at the top of the page?
What video?
Matter of fact, don't even answer it because I know the answer. No, you didn't.
What video?
Because if you did, you would have not been asking me these questions right now. So you think I have the time to do this for 10,000 guys? Okay, no. Even if 10,000 guys paid me $10,000 each, I wouldn't have the time to do that. So that,
We don't even do that for our friends
he don't do it for me.
in the sense of tell them the story.
Oh, we got
Tell
to
them
fight.
the story.
We
'Cause-
got in a
okay, so
fight.
you guys
I
will
was
not
ready to
feel as
fight
bad.
him.
You guys will not feel bad. You were what? Maybe 3 days, 4 days in?
Yeah, and I'm
Ooh.
on the step mill. I'm at the gym. I'm reading the thing, and I had a simple question. I figure I'm going to call my buddy up and ask him, and I'm going to get this handled real quick, and we're going to be done with it. I call him up. I'm sweating. I'm doing my hour like I've been instructed to. I'm being a good soldier. I'm calling my coach. I'm like, hey, man, I got a question. How many grams of carbs? Did you read the effing thing? And I'm like, whoa, time out. Did I call the wrong number? I'm like, what's up, dude? Chill, relax. He's like, no, you figure it out, and then call me back when you figure it out. You know, paraphrase something to that thing. But anyway, that was the tone. That was the energy. I hung up on, I'm never calling this guy
He's
again.
pissed.
I'm never calling this guy again. Who's he think he's talking to? I've just asked him a damn question. But I figured it out. And he was right. And I ended up getting in the best shape of my life at the end of that 30 days. And it wasn't because of anything more than I needed to dig in. Like, he was requiring that I just dig in a little bit more than I was ready to dig in at that moment in time. There was more that I could get from myself that I ended up getting from myself, and that was my second or third time doing, no, it was probably my second time doing that, and I ended up being great. And that added another layer to me.
Great? Come on. You go put up a picture later this week of you after the blitz and you in your mid-20s.
Oh yeah, there's no.
Dude, you were, and that leads me to the next question, because I want these guys to get this. You just want them to be able to live the best lives they can, and you know what's possible. And so it gets very sensitive, because you understand you're at the finish line going, come here, my hand's out here, come to here, you're going to be incredible. Yeah. And they're kind of like just kind of looking around and fumbling and looking at the grass and going, well, I don't know. You're like, oh my gosh, you could be this, but you're here. And so we get attached to that for everybody.
Yeah, and we bring so many conversations to the table. Like, I literally wake up every single day of my life to another email, whether it's somebody telling me how great they did, like this woman who lost 60 pounds, or someone who's struggling. But I have the benefit of all of this experience in the real world, doing this with real people every day. I know what to say and do. Like, I clearly know what to say and do. And I never question what I feel like saying or doing, because I know it's going to benefit that other person if, listen to me, everybody, if you choose not to take offense. It is you who is choosing to be offended by a comment that he or I makes, by doing what we feel is best for you based upon decades of experience of working with people one-on-one and in group settings.
And with that being said, motivation will come and go. The passion that Clark leads with is something that has helped me at times. And I'm not just saying once or twice, I'm saying over there, our 33 years of brotherhood and brotherhood of the wolf mentality of you lead now. I need your help, I'm hurting. Or reverse, which is rarely. He usually leads. I'm usually the one hurting. But with that being said, it's that whole mentality, that whole brotherhood of the wolf. The leader is out in front going, I know what to do. I got all of you. I know what, just follow me. We're going to get you to the spot. And if you got that in your crew, and that's what Clark and I have created with our communities, is that we have that. And we have the tier that we have, hey, if we're not there, there's somebody else there to help. And there's somebody else, and there's friendships that are created. And I think it's a beautiful thing, because I don't care who you are. You go through ups and downs.
Yeah.
And I don't want this to be this is not a 12-week plan. This is a complete lifestyle change of a better life for all of you. And I say this to most of the people that I work with. I said, do you want to be better when they come to me at 30? I go, do you want to look better at 40 than you do right today? And they're like, well, I didn't even think. You can't look better at 40 than you do at 30. 30, you're peaking. And I'm like, no, at 40 you could even be. At 50, and you got this time, if God gives you that time. But in that being said, this is a journey, man, and it's the little habits, like he said, of going through the process that make you better.
Here's what we're doing in mind, and I think you guys can really benefit from this, Jeff. Take notes. So, like Mike said, it's not a 12-week journey. That's just the beginning. So if you do the 30-day blitz, you do the dry out, you do the power bodybuilding 9-week program, you do 12-week, whatever you do. It's the beginning of a process of evolution for you. And what I've done with my men, and I got this from, you know who Funk Roberts is? Funk Roberts is the Black Clark Bartram. This dude is badass, man. And he was teaching me some stuff. I had him on my Zoom call a couple weeks ago. But what I'm doing now is I'm taking my guys through a year-long process, and they're working towards a goal at the end of the year. So they're going to go through different phases.
That's a heck of a commitment.
It is. But the reality is, I've got guys that have been in my program now for 8 months already, and it went by like this. And I need to provide them the pathway to get them to where they want to go. So they don't need to think about anything. They just need to tap in to the app and all of what I'm getting them to do. But what we're working towards, and I was thinking about what kind of name can I give them? What kind of goal? And I'm not going to show them here, but I'm talking to Chef Rush about those. So we're working towards becoming a maximized man. What does that mean? You know, you're not like the baddest guy in the room. You're maximized in your ability to be a man, be a better dad, be a better husband, be a better employee or whatever. And my guys have bought into this hook, line, and sinker, and I love it because it's bigger than the aesthetic. It's bigger than getting abs. It's bigger than looking a certain way, because all this is, at the end of the day, this looks great, and I want you to look as good as you possibly can, but not at the risk of losing part of who you are as a human, because
That's what happens when people only focus on the aesthetic. So if you focus on more than that, like my guys are working towards being a maximized man, that's not toxic man, that's not any of this bullshit, excuse me, this crap people are saying. It is a man who's thoughtful and caring and strong and powerful and confident in all of that sort of stuff. It's powerful, man. Maximized men, that's what we're working towards. And it gives these guys something to hold on to when they are losing their motivation.